the subscribe button if you don't want me to come at night.
Imagine driving down a desolate highway at midnight. The only sound is the hum of your engine and the crunch of gravel under your tires. Picture a group of thrill-seeking friends, their hearts pounding with excitement as they embark on a cross-country road trip. Their map isn't filled with the usual tourist spots. No, they're after something more spine-tingling. Their eyes are set on the haunted and the eerie, the forgotten ghost towns and the landmarks shrouded in chilling tales. The thrill of the unknown fuels their journey, each mile they cover only heightening their anticipation. As they huddle around the glow of their GPS, their first destination is decided. A haunted landmark infamous for the spectral sightings and the legends that have survived generations. Little do they know their adventure is about to take a turn into the uncanny. And so, the friends set their GPS to the first haunted landmark, completely unaware of the chilling encounters that lay ahead. The first stop on our ghastly journey is an old, abandoned lighthouse, said to be cursed by the ghost of its former keeper. Perched on a rocky outcrop staring into the abyss of the sea stands the lighthouse. It's a lonely figure, a silent sentinel with a history as deep and turbulent as the waters it overlooks. It holds tales of a time long past, of a lighthouse keeper who met a tragic end, and the spectral presence that has haunted it ever since. The lighthouse keeper was a man of the sea, living in solitude, his life dedicated to guiding ships to safety. But one stormy night, a ship he was guiding crashed against the rocks. Lost in the icy waters was the keeper's only son. Overwhelmed by grief, the keeper was driven to desolation, and it is said he threw himself from the lighthouse tower. Now his spirit is believed to linger, caught in a loop of the night that changed everything. It's in the icy gusts that blow through the lighthouse, chilling the air and making your hairs stand on end. It's in the mournful wails that echo through the halls, a ghostly serenade of sorrow and regret. Our group of intrepid explorers steps into the lighthouse, each footfall echoing in the silence. They navigate the cold stone stairways, their breaths coming out in visible puffs in the frosty air. An eerie feeling of being watched pervades the space, making their hearts beat faster, their steps grow slower. The air is heavy with an unseen presence, a spectral observer from another time. They hear the distant moans, the whispers of the wind carrying tales of a life cut short. The temperature drops, the air grows colder, the moans louder, their hearts pound harder. The spectral presence grows stronger, the sorrowful energy of the lighthouse keeper enveloping them, his tragic tale unfolding before their eyes. As they left the lighthouse, a chill ran down their spines, a silent agreement among them that they had indeed encountered the supernatural. The lighthouse stands, as it always has, a beacon of the past, a monument to a lost soul forever trapped in its stone walls. Leaving the lighthouse behind, the group ventured onto a ghost town, a place frozen in time and shrouded in eerie silence. This once buzzing settlement now stood desolate and abandoned, its former life echoed only in the hollow whispers of the wind. The friends, undeterred by the thick air of desolation, began their exploration. They found themselves in deserted streets, their footfalls echoing through the empty expanse. The skeletal remains of buildings lined their path, their windows like vacant eyes staring into the abyss. Every step taken was a step into the past, a journey through a town abandoned by time but seemingly not by its former inhabitants. They stepped inside the abandoned buildings, their hearts pounding in unison with the creaking of the ancient wood under their feet. Each room held its own tale of forgotten lives, the air heavy with stories waiting to be told. Their torchlights danced around the dust-filled rooms, illuminating relics of a bygone era. The echoes of phantom footsteps followed them, a chilling reminder that they might not be alone. In the midst of their exploration, they experienced the inexplicable. Objects began to move on their own, defying the laws of physics and reason. A cold draft would pass through, carrying with it an unsettling stillness. The laughter and banter that had accompanied them so far was gradually replaced by a tense silence, each friend lost in their own thoughts of the uncanny happenings. Despite the escalating fear, they continued their exploration, driven by an insatiable curiosity and a touch of adrenaline. Their courage was a beacon of light in the overwhelming darkness, their unity a shield against the unseen. As they left the ghost town, they found themselves glancing back over their shoulders. The feeling of being watched was palpable, a prickling sensation at the back of their necks. It was as if the spectral inhabitants of the town were standing at the edge of the settlement, silently watching them leave. As they drove away from the ghost town, they couldn't shake the feeling of being watched, as if the town's spectral inhabitants were bidding them a haunting farewell. Next, they encountered a phenomenon common in ghostly lore, the phantom hitchhiker. As they cruised along the lonely highway, bathed in the glow of the setting sun, a figure emerged from the edge of their headlights, a solitary silhouette, thumb extended in the universal plea for a ride. But as they drew closer, the figure dissolved into the thin air, leaving nothing but a chilling emptiness in its wake. Phantom hitchhikers, apparitions hitching unseen rides, are not uncommon in tales of the supernatural. These spectral figures are often thought to be spirits trapped in an eternal loop, forever attempting to reach a destination they can never arrive at. Like a record stuck on repeat, they are doomed to reenact their final journey time and time again. The lore surrounding phantom hitchhikers is vast and varied. Some tales whisper of benevolent spirits warning drivers of impending danger, while others speak of malicious entities bringing misfortune to those unfortunate enough to cross their path. But one common thread weaves through all these stories: the tragic fate of souls unable to find their way to the afterlife and forever bound to the physical world. Our friends, shaken by their encounter, pondered the story of their phantom hitchhiker. Who was this spectral traveler? What tragic circumstances had bound them to this lonely stretch of road? Was it a desperate plea for help or a warning of danger lurking ahead? The answers to these questions, like the hitchhiker itself, seemed to fade into the ether, leaving only a lingering sense of unease. Despite the spine-chilling encounter, they pressed on, their destination still miles away. But as they continued their journey, the phantom hitchhiker's image remained imprinted in their minds, a chilling reminder of the supernatural world that exists parallel to our own. The open road, it seemed, was not just a path through the physical world, but also a highway through the spectral plane, where the living and the dead cross paths in the most unexpected ways. As the road trip came to an end, the group reflected on their eerie encounters. They sat together, the hum of the car engine the only sound punctuating the silence. Each wore an expression of contemplation, their minds awash with the spectral spectacles they had witnessed. John, the de facto leader, broke the silence. "It's been quite a ride, hasn't it?" His voice was a blend of fear and fascination, a cocktail of emotions that mirrored the group's collective sentiment. He recounted their first stop at the haunted lighthouse, where they felt an inexplicable chill, a spectral presence that seemed to echo the tragic tales of lost mariners. Then there was Sarah, the group's skeptic. Despite her initial doubts, she couldn't deny the uncanny events at the ghost town, the fleeting shadows, the inexplicable whispers. They defied logic and reason, challenging her skepticism. "I can't explain what we saw," she admitted, "and that's what scares me the most." The youngest of the group, Timmy, was silent. His encounter with the phantom hitchhiker was something he could barely articulate. His recounting of the event was filled with trepidation, his voice trembling as he described the spectral figure that seemed to vanish into thin air. As the group shared their experiences, they began to realize the profundity of their journey. It was more than just a road trip. It was a voyage into the unknown, a journey that delved into the dark corners of the past. They had come face to face with the inexplicable, the supernatural, the ghostly remnants of history that seemed to linger in the shadows. In the end, the journey was a testament to their courage and curiosity. Despite the fear, despite the chilling encounters, they had pushed forward, driven by an insatiable desire to uncover the unseen. Their road trip had become a ghostly adventure, a haunting exploration that transcended the boundaries of the ordinary. As they returned home, the friends were left with an unforgettable experience, a ghostly road trip that would haunt their dreams for years to come.
Hit the subscribe button if you don't want me to come at night.